Test, 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 test. Yeah. Good morning. Thanks for being here with us today, whether you're here in person with us or joining us via our live stream on YouTube or Facebook. We're glad you're here. If you are remote, you can drop a little comment in the comment line of whatever device you're using and just let us know that you're joining us. It is a brand new year. Welcome to 2023. We know it's going to be a good year. We're proclaiming that right now. Whatever that might look like for us and for our country and for our world, we just know that it's going to be good because God's right in the midst of it. We are grateful for this opportunity today to discern and to have Spirit inform us of who we are here to be in 2023. What expression of God is seeking to move in, through, and as us. So I just invite you to be open to that and to be willing to step into that, whatever that message is for you. And those of you who are watching us via the live stream, if you've got your own white stone, because we're going to be using a white stone today, you can have that nearby. And if you haven't gotten one of those yet, then you can just make sure you have a piece of paper and something to write it down. So when that inspiration comes, you can have it with you, and then at some point in time, knowing the significance of what a white stone means that you're going to discover here in a little bit, if you aren't always already aware of that, you'll know why it's important to put that state of beingness on this symbol of freedom. This morning, we're going to start out, we're going to sing a song, and we just invite you to let's stand up and let's sing along together. The words will be up on the screen. Do one more, so you can sit down if that's what the Spirit moves you to do. You can stay standing, but let's do another one just to get our hearts and our minds ready for this experience. Rejoice.
Good morning. I'm Mary, and I'm on the care team, and this is my friend Sue, who's also on the care team. The word for today is fresh start. Now, there's a surprise, right? Centered in God, I create a fresh new life.
I begin this year with renewed enthusiasm and a fresh perspective. I feel vibrantly alive as I realize that all the love, wisdom, and energy and strength of God are mine to express in my life right now. Grateful for the lessons of the life experience, I release past disappointments with a forgiving heart. I find harmony in my relationships as I look beyond differences and focus on the divine life and love that unite all people. I go about my work seeking to serve others with a humble heart. I find ways to develop and evolve my skills and nurture my talents, allowing me to continue to grow and learn. This year, I will thrive in all areas of life as I feel God's presence everywhere I go and in everything I do.
And from Revelation 21:5, and the one who was seated on the throne said, "See, I am making all things new."
And as we have our healing prayer this morning, we just open our minds and our hearts to allow each of us to be a channel sending out our love, our light, our hope, our joy into the world so that those who may be struggling with any of those areas can receive it, can know, and can believe that no matter what is unfolding in their life, today is indeed a fresh start. All things are being made new. Healing is unfolding as we speak and energize our words in this prayer. God, we are grateful for the miraculous ways in which your love moves in and through each person in our prayer box, all those that we hold in our individual hearts and minds. And we send it out into the world, to those places that are struggling, to those places where safety is precious. We just see each person being lifted up in this moment to your love and to the assurance that all is well. And so it is. Amen. Thank you, Bob. So, on this first day of the new year, it's the one time a year I get to wear my sparkly Happy New Year shirt. So that's a celebration right there. It is a new beginning, one that we're each invited to enter into with a new level of consciousness, a new awareness that was birthed over this holy season. The start of a new year has long been celebrated throughout human history. In fact, there were rituals to welcome in and usher in this new year for as long as there's been verbal or recorded history. The earliest, we know the Babylonians, long before, in probably 300 or 400 BC, recognize a new season, a new growth, a new opportunity for crops. And they did it in the spring because that was their new year. That was the new planting season. Later, when the Romans controlled much of the world, they decided that the new year would now be recognized according to their calendar. And therefore, it became January the 1st as the way that we would celebrate our new year. January was named for the god Janus. And in ancient Roman times, Janus represented both beginnings and endings. It was the opportunity symbolically to look back as well as look forward. And that was what this time of year was an invitation to do for all of the people. And this idea became tied to this concept of transition from year to year. Yesterday at our burning bowl ceremony, many of you had an opportunity to look back and to release those things that you no longer wish to carry with you. Perhaps they served you for a time. They don't always necessarily have to be negative things, but however you're moving and growing in your life right now, it was a chapter that was calling to be closed so that something new could come and be a part of your experience. Today is our opportunity to look forward into this new year. You know, this celebration of new beginnings is practiced in just about every culture around the world. In Spain, they eat 12 grapes at midnight to ward off any evil spirits that might be floating about and bring prosperity. It's all about keeping away anything that might be negative or challenging and welcoming in all the good that the new year had. In China, they use loud noises, they use firecrackers, and that's their way of warding off the evil spirits or any bad luck that might be trying to slide into this new year. In Greece, they hang an onion outside the door, and that's to bring fertility and growth. In Brazil, they will eat lentils as part of the beginning of their new year to bring good luck. And you know, even in this country regionally, I never knew this till I moved to the South, but you eat black-eyed peas to bring good luck for the new year. I don't do it still because I don't like them. But for those of you who, I just know God's got my back and I'm good. But for those of you who like to just have a little extra assurance of good luck for the year, after the service, we've got some soup and salad, and there are both vegan and my husband made black-eyed peas with ham. So you can go get your black-eyed peas today, have a little cup of those to bring good luck. You don't want to know what they eat in Mexico. It's called menudo, and I'm just not even going to tell you. And that's to bring them good luck. I don't know. In Unity, it's become a tradition each year, but it's a newer tradition, probably only in the last 30 years or so, that we celebrate this new year with a white stone ceremony. We have the burning bowl on New Year's Eve, and then usually the first Sunday of the new year, we do a white stone ceremony. It was something that was developed by a Unity minister, and many, many New Thought churches have adopted this as a way, as a ritual to begin new each year. And this white stone tradition comes also from our Roman history, as many things do that we experience today. People were given a white stone to represent that they were a Roman citizen. Now, this was important because if you had a white stone, if you could show, you had the full weight, you had the full backing of the Romans and the Roman power behind you. Now, if you broke a law or for some reason were sent to jail, then your white stone was taken away and only given back to you when you had earned your freedom back. It was a way of saying without it, you are in prison in some way, And it was true even for slave people. If they earned their way to freedom, they may have never had one before. This was their new representation that they were now a free citizen. You know, when we look at this metaphysically, we can recognize that we create our own prisons in our own minds through our thoughts, through what we believe. And the good news is we also hold the key to that freedom from anything that might imprison us, that might limit our lives. Moving from year to year is not as dramatic as sometimes the freedom that we experience if we've been able to overcome an addiction or had a physical healing and now feel that sense of freedom in having a body that works for us. And yet, regardless of whether or not we've got some big challenge looming in our life, it's helpful to be able to celebrate and to recognize this power that we have within us to be free and to claim it once again. So everyone should have gotten a white stone. Did we miss anyone? If we did, just raise your hand and they can bring one to you. Take it out and hold it. This is a beautiful way of capturing this sense of freedom. And it represents your freedom from any constraints that you might have experienced in the past, anything that has held you back from being God in expression. It is a symbol that frees you to step beyond the walls of any confinements. It is the reminder that you have the full power, the full autonomy to create freedom in your life. It represents the full force and power of God in you and through you and as you. You know, it is a beautiful thing that we can reflect upon and we can embody this awareness that we can be free from our past. No matter what we might have done or not done, today represents a new sense of freedom. Maybe some of you can relate to a time where you've had some kind of spiritual awakening that released you from a prison of addiction or limited beliefs or guilt or shame, where we've been able to really forgive the past and now feel that sense of lightness, because that's usually what people will describe, is I just felt like weights had been lifted off my shoulder and I felt a sense of freedom and lightness that I had never experienced before. The greatest freedoms are within us. They're here for us to claim whenever we're ready. And this white stone represents our clean slate. We let go of who we've believed ourselves to be, and we give ourselves permission to envision something new. I want you to know that you're ready today because you're here. I don't think things happen by accident. You're here by divine appointment. It is the time right now to give yourself the gift of freedom, the gift of letting go of any false limitations that you might be holding on to. Whatever constraints you might feel are binding your life to be a certain way, to just let them go, because we are being called, each of us, into a new way of being. Many of you may have set some goals or made some resolutions for this new year, things you would like to do or acquire or experience. And that's a beautiful thing, but it's not what this is about. Because the white stone is beckoning you to discover a way of being, not a way of doing, not even a way of giving or receiving. It is a way of being. There was a book I read years and years ago by a unity minister called Doug Botroff. And he had this statement, and it has stuck with me ever since. I couldn't tell you exactly what the rest of the book said, but this really resonated and has guided me. And his statement was this: the being is not in the having is in the being. Think about that for a minute. Oftentimes we say, if I could just have this, do this, achieve this, then I will be. Then I will be happy. Then I will be fulfilled. Then I will be, more grateful or loving or whatever quality. And what he suggests to us is that it works just the opposite. When we step into being in a certain way, all of those things get added. It's like when Jesus said, "Seek first the kingdom of heaven, and all will be added." When we are being in a certain way, we become what I like to call a vibrational match to other things like that. So if we're hoping and praying that we get some new love in our life, maybe we're really desiring to have a partner to go through this life experience with it, then go be love. It's not like, well, I'll be more loving when I find that person. If we want to have that in our lives, we have to become whatever it is that we're seeking first. Our purpose here is to be. It is not to be successful. It is not to be happy. I was listening to a PBS special last night, and it was interesting that this Benjamin Franklin said that the Declaration of Independence, which said that we all are entitled, we are all here so that we can pursue life, liberty, and happiness. But what it really should have said more accurately is not just we pursue happiness, but that we, in the pursuit of our passions, discover happiness. Happiness is not the goal. We are here to be God in expression, to be the hands, to be the feet, to be the eyes, to be the heart, to be the healing presence of God on this earth. We will each do it vastly differently, and yet we each have that purpose as part of our life. So in just a moment here, we're going to go into a time where we can discern whatever that being quality is being called for each of us. And I would just encourage you to be open to whatever word Spirit brings into your mind and heart. You may not understand it. It may be puzzling why that particular word, but to trust that if that's the word that you're being given, that it is what's calling for you to discover how to be it in greater extent and passion. Sometimes, in some years, my words have come, and I've done this a lot. I don't know where all my stones went to. I used to just line them up here. I've been doing it about 20 years now. And one year my word came, and it was joy. And it made perfect sense to me because I was coming out of a couple years of really difficult losses with my dad and my stepson, and I had not felt that energy of joy. I had not been experiencing and being joy in my life or in my work, and so that was what was being called. There was certainly, in some difficult years, forgiveness is the word that came for me, or understanding. The year that Fearless showed up, I was a little scared, I have to tell you. And as I was open to being that, it was the year that was probably the most empowering because I stepped out and did a lot of things that I had never done before. I walked on fire that year and didn't get burned. That was the most important part. You walk on it, but you don't want to be burned. I sang in front of a group of people about this size. Lord help me. I won't be doing that anytime again soon. And I followed the guidance that it was time to leave the ministry that I was serving that I loved so much, even though I had no clue what was ahead of me. That all took being fearless in order to say yes to that. Sometimes I've had two words show up, and then I just write one on either side. And so if that happens for you, just be them both. So as we begin this time where we open our minds and hearts to Spirit, if you're not, if you've set your stone aside, bring it back into your hands. You might want to close your eyes during this just to block out any outer distractions. And as you hear the music gently playing underneath, just allow that music to take you deep within. Imagine that that thinking part of you is slowly sinking down until it gently comes to rest in your heart space. That place where mind and wisdom of the heart join together. Take a deep, relaxing breath and just let it go. And as you let that breath go, just let go of anything that might be blocking you from this full experience. Just see it leaving your mind and your body. Hear that divine self, what we call our Christ self, that is now whispering to you, "Behold, I make all things new." And then just be open to hear how it is that Spirit is seeking to express through you. In this moment of truth, to receive a greater insight into your divine purpose, an insight into your holy essence. A place where you can experience what is described in the Bible as the secret place of the Most High. And just allow my words to become yours, the words of your own heart. I let go and I let God. I now free myself to live more fully. I release the limitations of the past, those old beliefs that perhaps I had been taught were the law. And I surrender now to God's law of love and grace. I imagine myself now leaving this internal prison, a prison of limitation, perhaps of my own creation, leaving behind the shackles of negative thinking, and the door before me opens, and I walk through it to freedom. And I'm handed a white stone, a stone to remind me that I am free and that I am being given a new identity, a new way to be. I allow myself to be open to a life of unlimited possibilities. I allow my truest and highest and most glorious self to emerge. I reflect, and I'm open to a new name, a new word that I will be this year. And so I listen. I listen knowing that the word is already written on my heart. I listen, trusting and knowing that in the perfect time, it will come. I listen now for a few moments in the silence. And feel a sense of gratitude flowing through you, flowing and moving in and through this sanctuary as we feel the aliveness of evolution in process, of inspiration, of becoming, of birthing something new. Birthing new ways to make a difference, new ways of calling forth heaven on earth. For there is no limit to God's love in you and as you, to strengthen you, to express into the world in new ways. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and write your word upon your stone. And if for some reason this word has not yet arrived in your mind and heart, just give it time, for it will. It's calling you, and you will hear it in the perfect moment, in the right time. And I just invite you to know that any time that you look at this white stone, it reminds you of this moment right now, this moment where you felt that sense of possibility, where you realized that you had the freedom to choose, the freedom to live differently, to live a more purposeful and fulfilling life, to begin again, to connect with God, that source in which we have the power to consciously co-create with. Wow, he's into it over there. We're good. I love it. I love it when somebody is so immersed in what they're doing, there's nothing else that matters. There's nothing else going on out there. So as we move into 2023, I just encourage you to remember this. Your greatest power is the power to be. To be more loving, to be more courageous, to be more joyful, to be whatever it is that your white stone is calling you to express into the world. It is to be the light of the world. Bless you. Bless this planet. And bless and celebrate all the good that's going to unfold as we claim this is who I've come here to be in 2023.
Have a way of taking disappointment, making it an anthem of hope. You have a way of opening the promise, even when the door is still closed. what you do, it's who you are. You are like a wildfire in the dark. It's how you move, 'cause it's your heart. You are like a million burning stars. It's what you do, it's who you are. You are like a wildfire in the dark. It's how you move, 'cause it's your heart. You are like a million burning stars. Light, let there be light. Open my eyes. Let there be light. Light, let there be light. Open my eyes. Let there be light. Let there be
You know, I was sitting there thinking, for those of you who've been around for a while and have known Jessica since she was about 6 or so, who'd ever thunk she would grow up and be such a big part of our community today. And her husband have also been getting the first Sunday lunch together, so she's doing some double, triple duty today, and I'm just grateful. Grateful that she's willing to step in, yes. Well, it is our opportunity now to share of our financial good with this ministry. We are just grateful in all of the ways in which we receive our good and which that good flows back out of this community. Just to remind you that we tithe 10% of whatever we get in out back into the community, back into organizations that support us or that we feel like really reflect the values that we hold most precious in our community. And we're grateful to always be in that flow of giving and receiving. It is that divine energy that we are each called to live and be. In fact, that was my word this year as I was doing my meditation this morning, was flow. You know, I'm a really good giver. I'm not always a great receiver. And some people, it might be the opposite. So part of my being this year is to be both, to be in that natural flow, to give whenever that flow is seeking to move out, and to be willing to receive when it shows up for me. And I just hope and bless all of you to have that same experience this year, in that awareness that there's always enough, because there's always more flowing. It is a never-ending river of God's grace and love and abundance in our lives. For those of you watching through our live stream, you can go to centerofunity.org and give your gift there, as well as receive an affirmation. Here you can, as you come up row by row, drop your gift in the larger basket and receive an affirmation to bless you this week. So let us hold what we offer today in our hands, in our hearts, and bless it together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Father, Mother, God.
morning and Happy New Year. My name is Barbara. I want to welcome visitors. If you're watching us for the first time, we're glad you have chosen to join us. We invite you to visit our website and fill out the Connect card. And if you're local, we invite you to visit in person. If you're visiting us in person for the first time, please complete a visitor card found in the pew pocket in front of you or at the visitor desk in the lobby, and drop it in the box at the back of the sanctuary or on your way out. Now, on Christmas Eve, we enjoyed a beautiful candle lighting ceremony, from video clips to sound to music to various spoken parts to the actual candle lighting, and everything in between. The service was perfect. It would not have been nearly as successful if even one piece of the whole that brought us together had been missing. So to our wing and a prayer chorale, our AV team, our singers, our musicians, our LUT, our service volunteers, and to Reverend Linda for putting it all together, we say, we love you, we bless you, we truly appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Namaste. Now, I have one more announcement before we do the official ones on the screen. I always have announcements. Okay, oh, and I want to thank Reverend Linda for that wonderful sermon and meditation. It really got to me. I kind of went crazy. I have 4 words on mine, so I'm going to be a busy person. Anyway, we are having a volunteer appreciation breakfast on January 15th. In Fellowship Hall from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now, why we're doing this? This church could not operate efficiently without our volunteers, committed scheduled ones or ones that just pitch in whenever needed. This is just one way to let people know that they are appreciated. So if you volunteered at any time during 2022, you are invited. Now, we do have an RSVP date for January 8th, so let us know as soon as possible so we have enough food prepared. Now, also know that the Adult Sunday School is starting up in person at 9:30 on January 8th. So if you're involved with that or wish to attend that session on the 15th, or if you're involved with Youth Sunday School, of course you won't be in here, I guess. I may have to go see them. Anyway, just come in at 9 and we'll make sure you get served first. Thank you.
Here's what's coming up at Center of Unity. Each member should have received a membership re-verification card in the mail. These cards are due to the church office by January 9th. There are re-verification tables available, so be sure to stop by and turn in or complete your card so that you can vote at the annual meeting on January 22nd. Beginning Sunday, January 8th, the Adult Sunday School will be a hybrid class of in-person and online, and will meet at 9:30 a.m. to discuss the previous Sunday's message. Join Catherine Lawrence Ireland, owner of Food Save Me in Southlake, on Saturday, July 21st for an amazing afternoon of cooking demonstrations, food samples, and life-changing nutrition information. This class is for all ages. Please visit the COU website or app to sign up and save your spot. You're invited to attend the first Sunday lunch of the new year immediately following service. We'll enjoy soups and salad, so come and enjoy some time with your spiritual family. Love offerings are greatly appreciated. What goes up must come down. We're asking for volunteers to drop by the church when they can next Tuesday through Thursday, anytime between 9:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. to take down and store our decorations. Please sign up online or at the Info Center. There are multiple ways you can make a donation to Center of Unity. You can drop your donation off at the church, mail it to our P.O. Box, visit our website, or use the COU or Venmo app. Your continued support is greatly appreciated.
All right, well, we're going to invite our kiddos to come on in. Let's sing them in.
morning, everybody. As you can see, they've been celebrating the new year. They had their own birding bowl ceremony back there today. They've released what didn't work for them last year and what their desires are for the new year. And so I have a couple who wanted to share.
Today we read a book and it was called Matthew's Dream.
Today we got this to blow now.
We did a fire bowl thing with a bowl and fire.
We read a story.
And starting next week, then the lesson will be based on Star Wars, and it's called May the Source Be With You.
Oh, there we go. Excellent. All right, well, I'm going to invite you, if you're able to stand, let's join hands, and we're going to sing the peace song. As we move into this new year and new way of being, we go knowing our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a beautiful rest of your celebration today. Oh,